Usually the conversation around here is about football. Today, the topic is gas for one of the sponsors, specifically Mobile Supreme Plus Premium Gasoline. Let's start with the fact that Mobile Supreme Plus Premium is amazing. It keeps engines 3 times cleaner, so engines perform better for better gas mileage. Just ask motorsports legend Shirley Cha-Cha Muldowney. She raced top fuel dragsters in the 70s, so she knows a thing or two about gasoline. She also knows a thing or two about the 70s, so if there are any questions about leisure suits, vinyl, or fondue, fire away. One might wonder why they call her Cha-Cha. Like, is it a family name or a marketing ploy? Or maybe she thought it sounded cool. It's very curious. Getting back to fuel, Shirley and the team highly recommend Mobile Supreme Plus Premium Gas because it keeps engines 3 times cleaner for better performance and gas mileage. By the way, Cha-Cha Muldowney, she drove a pink car. Mobile. Legendary. 3 times cleaner compared to Mobile regular gas and port fuel injected engines. Actual results may vary. Visit mobilefuels.com for details.
They say everything happens for a reason, but I suspect everything happens for a Reese's. Like this commercial break. Did you need 15 seconds away from music? Or 15 seconds to eat a Reese's? Perhaps it's true. Everything happens for a Reese's.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to New Heights, a Jukes original show presented by Wave Sports and Entertainment. We are your host. I am Travis Kelce. This is my big brother, Jason Kelce. On New Heights, we speak things into existence, like getting body slammed by Derwin James on Thursday Night Football. New Heights has a new show for you every Wednesday. Don't forget to watch and subscribe on YouTube. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, click that follow button on all social media channels. Jason, talk to us about what we got coming up.
We got behind-the-scenes look at our games from week 2, plus interesting news and different related things across the NFL. But first, huge news for the New Heights podcast.
We're going viral, baby.
Huge week for New Heights last week. The podcast did amazingly well.
Huge week.
But perhaps even better, we got to actually see each other.
Oh,
Trav came into Philadelphia for a little bit.
The city of brotherly love, baby.
Yeah, how was it? I barely get to see you because I was getting ready for a game, but
it's
you got to see Mom and Dad and all of Mom's friends. It was celebrating my mom's birthday, which isn't for another couple of weeks, but this was the date that worked out the best.
You know, I don't really mind not seeing you. I'm really not there to see you. I'm there to see those beautiful girls of yours, Elliot and Wyatt. Had a blast with the fam, though. It's always good to get everybody under one roof, man. We kind of talked about this on a previous episode. There's nothing like good old family time, and then on top of that, you know, seeing you get a win on a Monday night game, big time game. The atmosphere was electric in Philadelphia. Everybody showed out for the first home game, and it was a blast, man.
Yeah, what'd you think of the link? I know you've been in it before, but how was it on Monday?
I mean, I'm gangrene when I'm in that thing now. You know what I mean? Like I'm one with the people. I don't sit around in a suite or go up there, you know, all secluded from everybody, man. I'm in that thing screaming EAGLES, Eagles. How do you spell Eagles?
Well, I'm the same way when I'm at the Chiefs in Arrowhead, so I appreciate you coming out. It was awesome to see you. Let's get going with the podcast.
Let's get it going, brother.
We did pretty good last week. I'm not going to lie. Better than I thought we were going to do. We cracked the top 3 in sports podcasts in the country, which I think it's just the country. I guess I don't know how that chart works, but we'll just call it top 3 in the world just to make it sound better. Which was did not expect to hit that as quick as we did, so I'll take it.
Thank you to the listeners. Thank you for tuning in.
I think we owe a little bit of thank you to, for sure, Sports Center for putting us up and really elevating our platform there. I'd also like to thank Malcolm Rodriguez and Derwin James. Thank you guys for embarrassing us on national TV.
Making us go viral.
I mean, listen, maybe we need to keep going viral. We need to keep getting our ass kicked because apparently podcast does really well. Outside of that, we've also been getting some feedback from some fans. So I'm going to read some of our favorite comments so far that we've gotten on the podcast.
Let's talk about it.
All right. At NY2KC32. This might be a bot. I don't know.
Maybe.
That seems like a bottish name. All right. My only bad thing I have to say about this podcast is why didn't you guys think of this sooner? It's a great question, NY2KC32.
Right now. Honestly, we've been thinking about it for years.
Yeah.
And we kind of touched on this on a previous episode as well, is, just waiting for the right time, man. Waiting for the right time, right opportunity. And sure enough, I think we're very comfortable where we're at, teaming up with Jukes and Wave. From that point on, it's just been getting on here, finding the time for each other to, the leisure to be able to come on here with confidence and know that nobody's second-guessing our motives, man, knowing that we're football players first.
Absolutely. Yeah, right time, right place, met the right people to make it all happen. And I think also seeing how other athletes have done it, had success, and it's clearly not been 100%. A distraction. Yeah. I think all of those reasons are why we were kind of hesitant maybe a couple years ago, but this year it really became something that we were both looking forward to doing. Next comment. Jason Kelce yelling, "Go!" I think it was more like, "Go!" Is going to be my new alarm clock sound.
You paused it there. You were like, "Go!" Which it was a solid go. I could use that as an alarm as well. I always hit that snooze. The first one's always snooze, man. Every time. I don't even know why I set the first one.
And then the third comment we got here, there's absolutely no way I just found out that Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce are brothers through their podcast. Why does nobody think that we're brothers?
I haven't seen it outside of me and you or the family.
Yeah, it's not a common name.
No.
It's not like Williams or Johnson.
Jones.
Like, this is a Jones.
Smith.
Schwartz. Yeah, no, this is not a common name at all. I don't get why nobody thinks we're brothers. I think it's because you're skinny and I'm fat. That's the only thing that I can really think of.
Little did they know when we were little, you were skinny and I was fat.
You were a little chubby kid. You need to hit that growth spurt.
I'm still a growing boy, Eat your Wheaties, kids, or your Kelce Crunch if you're in Kansas City.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Were there any other teammates, friends that had any comments?
No, everybody just enjoys hearing you talk football, man. Obviously, they hear me talk about it all the time in the facility, so they're just seeing it from a different perspective is always fun, man. And you're telling the stories golden right now. Your narration is pretty on point.
Good. I'm glad people are enjoying it. All right, you take it off. You want to take off with what we got in store?
Let's get it on, as Celebrity Deathmatch would say. Let's tee up these 12 bold topics. I'm going to ask Jason a few questions about his game Monday night, and he's going to ask me a few about my Thursday night game. Jason, why don't you start us off, baby?
Sure. Yeah, Chiefs 27-24 over the Chargers on Thursday night. We got to start with really what gave us some SportsCenter love in the first place. How did it feel when Derwin James absolutely, powerbombed the fuck out of you on national television?
Well, it's not my first time getting powerbombed, so
that's right. I used to powerbomb you all the time growing up.
You actually put me through the wooden floor in our living room.
I forgot about that.
No, I remember it. The feeling of knowing that Dad and Mom were going to come home to a hole in the floor was not the best feeling in the world. But
I think that hole was still in there when we sold that house.
Never filled it. Just put the couch over it.
Couch over it.
Took him. I think it took him like a week or 2 weeks to like clean the house to finally see that there was a hole under the couch. That's funny, man. Woo! But yeah, no, not my first time getting powerbombed. And obviously, we were talking about it last week. Derwin he's an OG in the game, man. He's one of the best safeties. I think he's the best safety all around. And then on top of that, long drive, tired. Started that. I think that was like play 8 or 9, maybe even more. I'm starting on the left side, outside the numbers, run a route. Pat's doing his thing in the pocket, gets out of the pocket, rolls right. I catch the ball thinking that he threw me short, when in reality is I could have just turned up and ran to the pylon and got in the end zone. It's the worst thing. When you watch it on film and you're just kicking yourself in the head, I kind of deserve to get my ass power bombed in that situation for not getting it in the end zone. And shout out to everybody that grabbed me in fantasy. It was kind of like Derwin James power bombed your entire fantasy team right there with me not getting in the end zone. But yeah, no, I made a cut back, and then all of a sudden he is on me like lightning. I mean, he surprised the shit out of me. Lower man always wins in football. When I felt him wrap his arms around my legs, and
there's that moment. That moment.
I'm chuckling in my mind. I'm like, this is not about to end well for me right now. Yep, I'm going up. What goes up must come down. And the body slam was funny, but what was even more comical is the fact that he asked me after the play or after that drive. He's like, bro, you good? What a great guy, man.
Yeah,
what a great guy.
Solid dude. Yeah, that was there's that moment in a power bomb where your feet are off the floor and you're in the air.
Helpless.
What was going through your head at that exact moment? First of all, is anything going on in your head?
First thing is hold on to that ball.
Exactly.
Hold on to
that ball. Which you almost didn't. That ball, the ground, you bounced so hard. Like, I don't know if you know this, but you're not supposed to bounce on grass. You bounced. And the ball flew. So good job holding on to it.
And honestly, I was talking about how tired I was just from not only that play, that drive, but after that, the ball hits the ground automatically. As an offense, especially as a coach, you're thinking, oh, man, that was a close call. We don't know if it's a fumble or not. Attack, get to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball before they can throw the red flag.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm looking over at the sideline like, no, we're good. We don't need to hurry up.
Tempo.
We're good. I got us. Held on to it.
Huddle.
Can I get some water? Sub, one play. Can I get one play? We got a fresh set of downs here. Can I get off the fucking field? But then, like you were saying, in midair, I'm like, just hold on to the ball. I'm also, like I said, kind of chuckling, like, man, I look like a WWE dummy right now. I'm still kicking myself for not finding a way to get in the end zone on that play, and then 2 plays later, I got a little shovel pass that I couldn't get in the end zone. I just felt like a jabroni, man. Just unaccountable jabroni for not getting in the end zone. We ended up settling for 3. Shout out to the Chargers for the stand, but it's just you got to find a way to get the ball in the end zone, man. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was a crucial play in that drive, and up until that point, and you guys had kind of been hot and cold on offense. So why don't you talk us through? Because it seemed like the first half it took you guys a little bit to get going there. They had a couple, I think, on your touchdown drive in the first half. They almost had an interception to stall that drive out. What did it feel like on Thursday night up against the Chargers, just as a team?
Yeah, I mean, it was the first time, I think personally, that we played a team where we had to handle adversity, and that's a huge stepping stone, especially when you got new faces, new team. You have to be able to come together, and the biggest thing for me in those types of situations, just get back to fundamentals, man. The feeling of wanting to get everybody rallied and get them going and get them going in the right direction. You see that? That was like a ninja, man.
Did you
I
get
had a
it?
fly on my head. No, I missed
Did
it,
you get
unfortunately. I missed it. It's all right.
Something
tells me
just
it'll be
tell
back.
me you got it.
Being down 10 rip, that's never fun. Not coming out hot, not starting fast. We preach that all week to be able to come out fast and put up points quick for our defense. That is our offense that you do not want to get behind, like down in the game against, because they got a lot of playmakers. They run the ball very well. They got a good O-line. So
Keenan Allen was out, luckily, but they still.
Yeah.
I mean,
shout out to Keenan Allen, absolute
how good
dog.
Well, I mean, but it also showcased just how good the Chargers team is, because even with Keenan out, I mean, they still have playmakers across the board.
Yeah,
you
can't say enough about
special.
Mike Williams.
Yeah, Mike Williams. The freaking was Eckler. You can't say enough. I mean, they are a very loaded team.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this. You guys, is this true? The last 3 times you guys have played, all 3 of those games have gone to overtime?
That's a great question. I don't even know. I know they always play us tight. It's always a tough game. I know we lost to them at home, I think, the past 2 years. So that was a big one for us to get that win in the crib for the Kingdom, man. I think the biggest thing was like getting back to those fundamentals, thinking that you have to do too much in times of trying to persevere. That gets uncharacteristic. And you have to be able to just calm down and just play your game, and then the offense, whether you're on offense or defense, the playmakers, when the ball's in the air, you got to make a play on it. And for me, I don't think I did my job in terms of that. I got to be a lot better for the squad and definitely the second half of the plays, finding work downfield for my guys to spring them loose and things like that, just showing more effort, because effort rules in this game, man. If you're flying around with high energy, man, good things are going to happen. So we just got to find that energy and get through the tough part of the game like we did.
Well, you guys found the energy in the second half, and it was the second half of the Watsons. You got Justin Watson with the long touchdown, and then Jalen Watson with that pick six late in the game that really ultimately ended up being the deciding factor.
100%.
First of all, who is Justin Watson?
J-Watt, baby. Penn
Second
grab,
of all,
the old Ivy League.
Is there anything better than a guy coming in with an opportunity, randomly just popping up and making a huge play? That is
all-time juice. All-time juice. It fires everybody up.
Yeah.
Absolutely everybody. And it happened twice in the second half, like you said. Defense was stepping up, though. It gave us a lot of momentum with a few sacks and a few big-time stops. And kind of got us to be able to regroup as an offense. But, you couldn't said it any better, man. So happy for Justin. And I've been telling everybody about it. Anybody asking me who they should draft in fantasy as a sleeper, I'm like, listen, that guy J-Watt is going to be flying down the field. And sure enough, they went man double against me, kind of left the middle of or everything deep and everything on the outsides singled up, almost like a cover zero look. And, Pat saw it. It was actually a pretty crazy throw because he saw Justin out of like the corner of his eye, and within like a millisecond, that ball was out and right on the frickin' money. But yeah, plays like that, guys stepping up to the plate that haven't had that chance yet or haven't had that opportunity yet. All-time juice moments, man, and it definitely sets the team up, gets them fired up.
And you just touched on this, which is something else I wanted to talk to. Have you noticed a difference in the way teams are defending you guys now that you don't have Tyreek and some of the firepower that you've had in the past? You just talked about. Yeah, I noticed some blitz zero in the first half. I noticed, like you just said, they're doubling you. They're trying to take away you as a primary target, which they've done before. But I don't know. It seems like teams are playing you guys a lot more aggressive than what you've had the past few years. Is that fair to say, or no?
Arizona came out and just blitzed the shit out of us. I think there was a stat about Pat getting blitzed a certain amount of times in the game, and it was the most that he's had in his career yet. Obviously, trying to slow the offense down with pressure, knowing that they got good DBs in Los Angeles. I think that defensive coordinators are sticking true to their regime more now that Tyreek's gone. Whereas when Tyreek was there, you had to play some type of shell coverage against him.
You had to cloud.
He's that guy. And
right.
I think right now we have the speed to go up top, but until we keep hitting those big-time home runs like we did with Justin Watson, I just think, it's they're going to keep just playing their style of defense. And
sure.
We'll see. I mean, I'll still get the man double like I kind of mentioned earlier on big third downs.
Right.
And then that kind of doesn't change, but at the same time, we're pretty consistent with seeing what we're getting on film now.
So I know Big Red, although stoic on the sidelines and in press conferences, when juice needs to be made or something needs to be said to get guys going, he has a way of just like either a look or like a very simple, like, hey, we got to get going now, something like that. But it really gives the whole team energy because, when he actually says something, it's like, okay, we better get it together. Big Red's on us right now.
Figure it out. Yeah, 100%.
So what did Andy say at halftime of the game?
It wasn't as much as necessarily wake up, but it was like, hey, the defense is playing their tail off. Let's go ahead and match that energy. Let's go ahead and match that success, and put this entire game together here. And that's where he's the best, man. That's where he's the absolute best. Everybody respects the hell out of him because of just the guy he is, the leader he is. How he's not smoke and mirrors. What you get is Coach Reed every single day, and you can respect that. And in moments like that, we can rally behind that guy. And that's something that, I've been so fortunate to have out here in Kansas City, is the ultimate leader at the top, to be able to get the guys going and get everybody refocused. When he gives that look, you better, tie them laces up a little tighter, buckle that chin strap up a little bit more, because, we got to get this shit going.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I always loved about Andy was, there's something about like stoicism and about a coach or a man being unwavering in his like where he's at. You know what I mean? Like at no time is he giving you some, like some falsehood, right? Or he's not trying to say something just because something needs to be said. You know what I mean? If he's saying something, it's for a reason and it has a purpose. And when he gives you that look, he's looking at you for a specific reason. So it hits that much harder. It's not, it's not like some like TV movie from a member of the Titans where you're like trying to make like a moment.
That dramatic speech.
Yeah, no, it's 100%
Any given
authenticity.
Sunday, Al Pacino or wherever Al Pacino is, that's his name, right?
Well, yeah, not remember the Titans. Yeah, Any Given Sunday. Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Nice, right on.
But yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: does Sirianni got that? Does he have that kind of
Everybody
demeanor?
It's different. Everybody leads in their own way. Chip Kelly was different. Doug Peterson was different, and Nick Sirianni is different. I do think that Nick is very authentic in who he is, and I think that players see through bullshit. You know what I mean?
100%.
They see through, whether it's from coaches, whether it's from players, leaders
Front
on the
office.
team.
Yeah.
You can tell whether somebody's being real with you or not, usually. And I think Nick he is authentically himself, and that's all you want. And he keeps people accountable. He keeps the team on focused on the right things and constantly trying to work to get better. And he embraces who he is.
Sounds like the ultimate leader.
Yeah, that's what you want, man.
100%.
So
let me ask you this then. Do you think that a coach that just has that demeanor, that fuck you demeanor, I think a guy like Dan Campbell has that I will fight you right now?
I think Dan Campbell, and everything I see on Hard Knocks and what appears to be is that he is an unbelievable motivator, and that he's great at getting guys going and great at getting guys juiced up. And that is an important part about being a head coach. That is not obviously the only thing about being successful.
Yeah, I'm saying more so, does the toughness kind of reflect and make a team tougher if the coach has that aspect, and instead of maybe a small guy that doesn't have the football background, or you know what I mean?
I think it certainly can, but I've also seen fake tough across. There's words only go so far, right? And that's why, Andy, I wouldn't classify him as this conventionally tough talking individual as a coach, right? But he's very mentally tough. He's very dialed in and focused and methodical in his thinking. That's a toughness that I think is more important in football. Now, I'm not discrediting. I love
Andy doesn't say he'll kick your ass, but he's got that look on his face like you can fuck around and find out.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I don't know Dan Campbell enough. I love the way he talks to his team. I love all of his interviews, but I can't speak on the other part. I wasn't talking. I know his team is tough. That was
just the first one that came to mind.
Yeah, and I played the Lions, and they for sure played tough. They ran around, played hard, played physical, so they're certainly matching that intensity. But I think again, it has to come off genuine. When I watch Dan Campbell, it seems like it comes off genuine. Andy Reid, it comes off genuine. If you're with a coach where it's not coming off genuine, then the players are gonna bullshit, and then it's not gonna be real. That's really what it comes down to. In the post game, real quick.
Oh, okay.
Mahomes in the post game talked about his PFF ranking, which I don't know what it is. Is that something you guys talk about often in Kansas City?
No.
Do you think PFF gets it right?
I don't know. Who's
tough
the
topic?
Yeah, everybody. The thing is that these PFF graders they're grading off of what they think the play should be, right? Whereas we might have a specific fundamental, or we might have a specific call that takes us into something else and the play doesn't work. If I'm making it make sense, you see, you know what I mean. The graders don't necessarily know the objective of the play or the fundamentals that we're being taught. They're kind of just looking at it as a general play, and that's where I think it's not really a actual graded performance like you would get in the facility, because they just don't know what we're scheming. And that's where I think it's kind of smoke and mirrors. But other than that, a guy has a great game. I mean, obviously he's going to have a higher grade, and that's, I think that's always going to stand true. But I also think that there's agents out here paying guys to get higher grades than others. I won't name any names.
I have wondered that for years. I try to believe
it's no doubt.
You think that's a fact?
No doubt in my mind. Yes, no doubt in my mind.
I don't think so. I choose to believe that PFF is more credible than that. But
more credible?
Yeah, I think that if that was true, that would completely ruin their website. So I don't think that happens.
You don't think there's agents out here paying these scouts to give higher grades so their players could make more money when it comes down to the bargaining? Gosh. You don't think there's agents out here trying to slither their way into a few extra?
I don't think so. No, I don't. I think that there's agents trying. I think PFF.
It's happening, Jason.
I just think it would be so. Well, either way, this is what I do think. I think PFF does a good job with the information they have, right? Which is just the film.
Okay.
They can only grade on production that they see on the film. They don't know nuances of coaching or what guys are being taught. They don't know the nuances of all the individual rules or what was called on the field. But I think they do a decent job at judging wins and losses and things that are pretty transparent on the field. So I think what ends up happening, because they don't have all of the information, I think where PFF usually gets it right the most is on the extremes. I think it's easy to tell whether you know what's called or not if a guy's kicking ass or getting his ass kicked.
That's a good point.
I think that's a pretty fair way to say it. There's a lot of in between where it's a little bit ambiguous. Is that a loss? Is what was being called? I think in the middle ground, I don't know that the PFF grades mean as much, but I do think they do a pretty decent job at telling who's getting their job done the best or who isn't getting their job done.
That's fair enough.
And the other thing I think with PFF is the one thing that I always put a caveat with their grading system is I don't know that it might. Truthfully, I don't know a lot about how PFF grades things. So I'll just say that to all the listeners. I'm not an expert in how PFF does things, but I think that when you're just grading on production and you're not factoring in either the difficulty of the job or who you're playing against, right? So like, if one tackle goes out and he shuts down, a defensive end that, isn't really doing much, right? He might get, he has zero pressures, but all of a sudden, Lane Johnson's playing Khalil Mack and he gives up one pressure. To me, like, I think Lane Johnson played better because he played a harder guy. Mm-hmm. I'm giving love to my guy Lane Johnson right now.
Shout out to Lane.
These are things that I think, I think certain offenses, guys just have harder jobs. There's drop back offenses where you're pass blocking and you're asked to do things that are a lot harder. Play action, nakeds, things like that, where it's nowhere near the difficulty level of what like a traditional drop back offense is for an offensive line. All in all, I think PFF is a pretty good job on the extremes. I think it's probably, I don't want to say it's a good way for fans to gauge without any knowledge of how players are doing, but it's not infallible. And I think that's where players that's where players kind of struggle with the grading system.
Fallible. Is it ABLE? Can I get the origin?
Anyways, I think that's where players see the problems with it is they know when PFF doesn't get it right because they're in the meetings and they're like, okay, well, that guy actually had a really good game. I don't see where they're getting that from. But anyways, all in all, I think it's a good website, and they rate me really high, so I think it's really good.
Right now. Let's get to the Eagles versus Vikings. You guys take them down 24-7, which was an action-packed first half. You guys came out strong in the first quarter. Jalen obviously got in the end zone quick. Off to his best start, man. I don't know the last time the Eagles were 2-0, man, but it's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, I wish I could remember any of the starts of our seasons, really.
Well, I mean, Jalen went 26 for 31, 333, a touchdown, and then obviously 2 rushing touchdowns.
It's the first quarterback in NFL history to go for 333, over 80% completions, and rush for multiple touchdowns. It's his second game in a row of being dominant, pretty much mistake-free.
No, it was awesome.
He had the one interception on the screen that was a fluke, went off of the running back's hands. Yeah. But I think, man, he has been so dialed in these first 2 games. He saved us against Detroit. This last game against Minnesota, it felt like we were all clicking offensively. It felt like, especially in the first half, you just talked about how Andy talks about getting out to a good, fast start, especially when you lose the coin toss and you receive to start the game. Mm-hmm. It's really important to start off good because you know you're going to get one less possession in that second half. So it's really important to get off to a fast start in those types of situations. And right from the get-go, I thought the coaches had a great game plan. Started out with some no huddle on the ball, empty sets, spread them out. That got them tired right away, got us tired. But I love when the D-line's tired. I would rather have me and the D-line tired than me and the D-line fresh. Because when we're both tired, it just turns into a lean match, brother. It's just, hey, let's just lean on each other. Ain't nobody going to make any plays. It's going to be good. We're going to let these skill guys ride this one out.
I'm keying in on you late in drives now and seeing the difference. See the difference of the demeanor.
Bro, that sub that comes in, those starters go out right around the 40-yard line, come back in on the 20. It's like, no.
I'm lucky. I don't have to deal with that as much. A little bit in nickel, you'll get a fresh DB to come out there. But for the most part, they're out there more than I am. I'll get a playoff before a DB will get a playoff. But I feel you. You get those pass rushers, the fresh D line. That's where teams are really great. You know, you got the depth at D line and O line.
Right.
The battle's always won up front. But to talk more about Jalen, man, he came out quick or fast as we were mentioning. I appreciated his confidence in the pocket. I appreciated his decision making. He looked like he was just out there balling. He's I think when he, I don't want to say struggles, but when it's not going as smooth as it wants to, he gets a little too calculated, and that might be, you know, what the defense is showing and things like that. But anytime you tie a quarterback's feet up or you make him a second or a tick late on his throws, that's what you're trying to do as a defense, right? Is play with that rhythm. But Jalen was smooth through the entire game, man. He was making great decisions with the ball, and obviously he's special with his feet. Do you think there's any real comparison to a Mike Vick? I think personally that Mike Vick kind of transcended this style of quarterback, and that's really the only comparison. I think Jalen is a different player in terms of how he actually plays the game, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's been running quarterbacks before. Long story short, no, I don't think Jalen Hurts is Michael Vick. I think Michael Vick was an unbelievably rare talent, had a cannon for an arm.
Cannon.
But just because they're both running quarterbacks that can also throw the ball doesn't mean they're the same player. I think that they both are unique in their own ways. You just talked about Jalen feeling more confident in the pocket. This is the first time he's had a whole offseason, second offseason with the same offense from the year before.
Yeah. That's crazy. So, I can only imagine. I've had the same offense for 10 years. Obviously, It's grown, but I can only imagine having to jump into a new one every single year.
Yeah, and we have new plays in this year, just like every year you're putting in new plays. But this has been a year where he's really been able to continue to learn, continue to iron all these things out. And as you know, being confident, really a big part of being confident is being prepared, right? nervousness or anxiousness a lot of times comes from not fully understanding what's about to happen, right?
Having questions.
When you've repped things over and over again, when you know the progressions in and out, what coverages you're looking for, how you're looking to attack them, when you've constantly repped that over and over again, it is a lot easier to go out there and be confident, deliver the ball, and we're seeing that within the first 2 weeks.
And
we saw it all off season as well. So I could not be more proud of how Jalen's played these first 2 weeks, and looking forward to watching this all season.
You can't dismiss all of that, and then you put on top of that, you guys have some ballers out on the football field to help them. Your offense is just clicking. Everybody is on the same page. It took a few quarters or a few drives for AJ to get his first reception, but obviously once he gets going, man. What a stud, man. I got to see him in the family room afterwards. I was like, dude, you just look good in gang green, brother. You just I'm not going to lie, man. It fits you, man. The swagger, the build, the offense I think is more suitable to your skill set. They move him around. You guys move him around more, I think, than what he was doing in Tennessee. And then on top of that, man, he's just got more around him in terms of supporting cast. Devontae's out there. You guys got Dallas making huge plays for you guys in between the hashes, and it's just it's cool to see everything clicking. And then obviously the Philadelphia crowd just going nuts all game. Not very many boos. The only boos that I heard were at the ref this game, and that's always a good thing.
We had some unfortunate penalties, especially in that second half, that stalled out some drives, and Philly fans are never shy to let you know what they think of you. So
it's notorious. Man.
I don't feel bad at all for the refs getting booed. I've been there before, and it's part of being in the link, baby.
During the Monday night broadcast, they brought up that Jalen squatted 600 pounds in college.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a workout warrior. You're doing anything like that, you're a fucking workout warrior, man. You're getting after it in the weight room. And have you ever been? I feel like you were a 600-pound squatting guy. At least when I saw you in college, you used to get under the rack. First of all, you would bang your chest against the barbell like a maniac just to get you in the right mindset. You would get under that thing, and then you would do this like
gotta get the hips right, get the core activated. Right. Yeah,
you would lift it up, and then for whatever reason, you would hold your breath for like 2 minutes straight.
That's a good strategy.
You did not breathe. No, there were a few times that after you got done racking it, that you almost flexed out. You almost flexed out.
Never happened. I've seen those videos. It's never happened to me. That's a false statement, everybody. Travis is lying. I've never almost passed out.
At least twice.
I did almost do it.
Vision gone. Vision gone at least. You might not have just went full body limp, but vision was definitely gone.
I did almost do it on a front squat, but that was because the bar was pressing on the carotid. I've never done it from just a pure holding of my breath.
What's the most you ever put on the rack?
First of all, that maneuver of holding your breath is actually called Valsalva maneuver. Yeah. It creates more core tension. So you take a breath in, and you clench your core. It provides more energy.
Shock Doctor taught you that. I remember that lesson. The old mouthpiece. The mouthpiece. There was that one mouthpiece, dude. You came home. You were wearing that thing every single time you lifted weights.
Yeah, actually, Paul Longo taught me that, our strength coach in college. But you know who else taught me
legend.
that? Was
Paul Longo, legend.
When I was a
meat, leaves, and berries.
When I was a rookie in the league, and it was the lockout year after I got drafted, I was working out at Cincinnati. And because there was a lockout year, all of the Bengals were working out at Cincinnati. And I was fortunate enough to meet Andrew Whitworth when I was at Cincinnati.
Big Whit.
And one of the first things Whit said, how to stop a bull rush, he said, all right, push me. And he just let me push him. And then he went like this. He's like, all right, now push me. And he went like, I tried to push that dude. He was like a fucking wall. Couldn't move him. He's like, that's how you stop a bull rush. And I was like, yeah, maybe.
You know what that just made me think of is the balance bands.
I don't even know where you're at. But all I thought was, I said, when Whit was 6'9", I don't know, 340, I mean, he's huge, monstrous of a human being. And I was like, listen, Whit, I didn't say this at all, but in my head, I'm like, Whit, you're 6'9". Maybe holding your breath works, stopping the bull rush for you, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get up under this motherfucker. But yeah, certainly extremely rare for quarterbacks to squat 600 pounds.
Yeah, back to the initial question, topic
little,
here.
We got a little sidetracked.
Jalen putting up 600 pounds is always going to be impressive.
So I think Jalen was like a I don't know if he was like a competitive weightlifter, but he was a huge weightlifter coming out of high school. And last off season, I was actually lifting with him, and he was still lifting. I mean, we'd be deadlifting the same amount of weight. And I remember thinking, I don't know if this is good that we're doing the same type of lifts. So I think he's changed up his weight regimen. I think he looks, he's still, I think he's always going to be naturally just a muscle-bound individual, especially in his lower body. But he is a much more fluid and it looks like he's put more emphasis this offseason and throughout training camp and everything on, fluidity and athletic movements as opposed to just lifting heavy weight, which I think probably at this point in his career, once you've already had that foundation of strength, playing quarterback position is about being fluid. It's about having good footwork. It's about
100%.
having hips that move in the right way. I think all of those things are more important than squatting 600 pounds. And I think that's made him a difference on the field.
When he's on the 5-yard line, finding a way to get the ball in the end zone like he did last night. Just strong.
When you run through three guys, that's where the 600-pound squat comes in. That's fair. That's fair.
Talking about that Vikings-Eagles game on Monday night, underrated rivalry? Are we thinking that we saw Eagles fans trolling, doing the skull chant in the middle of the game when they knew that they had the upper hand. It was actually enticing. I wanted to do it, but I have friends on the Vikings, so I couldn't get myself to go full send here. But it was pretty good. Do you guys think? I mean, you guys met up with him in the 2018 NFC Championship game. I was at that. Great game, cold but great game. You think there's a little heated rivalry between you guys?
No, I mean, I think that whenever you're playing an in-division opponent that you think is good, which I do think the Vikings are a very good team. I think they have a great defense. I think their offense is stacked. I think they have great playmakers. I think that they're going to be one of the better teams in the NFC. So whenever you're playing a team that you think is really good, it's kind of like a rivalry. But I think that rivalry probably is more for the fans. That has been building up ever since that NFC Championship game from 2017. I guess it would have been 2017 season, 2018 was when the championship game was. But there was heated blood for that one. The Minnesota fans came in cocky. They went to the Rocky steps, put like a Minnesota jersey on Rocky, which dude, listen,
where were the guards at? Are you kidding me? You guys don't have any guards around the Rocky statue? You guys don't have any security? You kidding me?
Listen, it is eye for an eye, justice when it comes to the Rocky statue. You can do whatever you want, but you better be willing to take the hits and be held accountable for whatever happens to Rocky. All right? I think Minnesota has this like hunky-dory Midwest feeling that like, oh, we just came in there and they were rude to us. And it's like, you guys were doing the skull chant and you guys were putting stuff on the Rocky steps and the statue. You guys were making this an animosity.
You were asking for it.
Well, I'm just saying, you guys weren't without any type of, fault for antagonizing the situation. Now, the Eagles fans probably went a little aggressive from some of the things I've heard. There might have been things thrown at buses. I think we can probably do a better job of keeping it a little bit more, more civilized.
Asking Philly fans to clean it up is a fucking joke. Okay, that ain't gonna fucking happen. I can say
you come into the link for an NFC Championship game and you're taunting the Eagles fans. I mean, come on now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. You know what you're getting yourself into, and then you can't be after that's like when you were in the back seat and we're sitting on a road trip and you would antagonize me and then I'd hit you and then I'd get in trouble. This is fucking bullshit. You antagonize that whole situation and they're like, oh, what's going on? Why are you doing this, Jason?
Keep your fucking composure, Jason, okay?
Right.
They're just words. You didn't have to throw fists.
Yeah. All right. Well, either way, I got a ton of respect for the Minnesota Vikings football team and their fan base. We're having fun right now. I think the Eagles fans are obviously extremely vocal fan base.
100%.
And if
love it.
we're getting into trash talking, I don't know that there's a better fan base you want to go into one of those battles with than the Philadelphia Eagles fans.
100%. 100%. I'll give you guys that. You guys definitely carry the trophy in terms of
it's that East Coast
shit.
mentality.
Yeah, I respect
it's a rite of passage growing up in Philadelphia, I'm sure.
I was thinking about this while I was watching the game. One of my favorite matchups of the night was Jefferson versus Slay.
Yeah.
That was and hats off to Slay. Jeff is not an easy cover. And there were
one of the best receivers in the league, yeah.
I mean, best route runners I've ever seen. Absolutely can go get the ball fast. And Slay there were a few routes that he ran for him. I don't know if it was scheme or if he just had a tick on a few of the routes. And I know that the red zone pick, he jumped a post, and it was a timing.
He
post.
dropped a pick right before that one.
Yeah,
he dropped a pick.
No, I think
then got to pick the very next play.
Yeah, no, that was his second one. I was talking about the first one.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one he just ran the route for him. The second one, Kurt, we gotta give my guy a chance. I'm not sure what the communication was there, but it looked like it was terribly thrown short.
Yeah.
But he just added to his Monday night resume.
I don't know about Kurt's Monday record, but I do know that Slay is only proving that he's, if not the best one, I mean certainly one of the best corners in the
100%.
NFL. To me, he's the best. Especially after watching what happened last night, it's hard to argue that now.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
I mean,
fun to watch. Got
truly,
me antsy in my seat, man. Let me get a shot at Slay, man. God, I don't know what the outcome would be, but I definitely want to.
You don't want that.
I do.
Do?
I love going up against the best, man. Let me see if let me get a shot at him, man.
All right.
No, but all the respect in the world for him. I'm not saying anything like that, but you already know it's fun going up against the best. Love those battles.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson was talking a lot of trash leading up to the game about how he wanted to put up big numbers. So, Slay knew he was going to have a hell of a game, and that he was going to have to be ready because, that's obviously their premier target. And he answered the bell and then some. Had 2 picks and I don't know how many pass breakups, but tremendous game from Slay.
So obviously I was rocking the 6'2" at the link, which is awesome to see everybody because you don't see fan bases really wearing the O-lineman jerseys every stadium you go into. I'm not even sure if they sell them on every single team, but let alone you see the 6'2s all throughout the stadium. I always appreciate that, man. Just getting showing the O-line love is always gangsta. But playing together, I was obviously there just for support, but it makes people think, has playing together ever became like a thought or a possibility in our heads? Has it ever been close? Me personally, I think the closest it was ever going to be in the NFL, at least, knowing that we played high school and college together. The closest it was ever going to be was the 2013 draft where the Eagles took Zach Ertz over me, and I was butthurt. I'm still butthurt about it, but it's whatever.
It worked out for everybody.
It sure did. Zach was not the wrong pick. Obviously, helped you guys win a lot of games. The most most single season receptions. Yeah, record holder. I can't say enough about Zach Ertz, but
fourth down.
But yeah, no, getting that opportunity to play with you in the league has always been something. Obviously, I want to say dream about, but I've played with you on every single level of football, so it's that was definitely something that would have been cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were both upset when on draft night when that happened, but it ended up working out for everybody. Zach Ertz ended up being a franchise best tight end. I think the numbers he put up while he was here were unbelievable.
100%.
Including in a Super Bowl, he had a career game where he had a pivotal touchdown and a fourth down conversion late in the game.
Huge touchdown.
And besides that, was just an outstanding teammate, friend, and member of the Philadelphia community. And I think it worked out pretty good for you. If I were to say that myself, I think you would probably agree. Things have worked out decent in Kansas City for you. So
couldn't be happier 10 years later.
Yeah, we really haven't gotten the opportunity. I think, we've both been really, really fortunate to be with the same franchise and be appreciated where we're at. And it's hard to leave a franchise when you feel that amount of respect being given to you. And I think we really haven't had an opportunity to do it.
I can't imagine playing anywhere else but Kansas City. I'm sure it's the same with you, man.
Let's get into the next topic. All right. Huge comebacks were the theme of the week. And it starts off with the Browns giving up 13 points to the Jets in the final 2 minutes. We're both from Cleveland, so we're Browns fans. So that's
under the table. We're definitely Browns fans.
I don't even think it's under. I mean, I guess you have to be under the table because the Browns are still AFC.
Yeah.
Right. For me, doesn't really impact. I hope the Browns go to the Super Bowl every year outside of the Chiefs. I think we always want the Browns to do well. So, they blow a big lead to the Jets late. The Ravens lose a 21-point lead heading into fourth to the Dolphins, which was one of the most unbelievable performances I've seen. I mean, oh my gosh.
Game, dude.
I remember live, you only get the certain games at a regional for me because I don't have the red zone and all these other things that you can get all the games at once. So I'm keeping track on my phone to all these other games. I thought the Ravens game was sealed. Like, I thought it was done.
They were up
and I look back and all of a
and
sudden I'm like, what the hell happened? And watching the highlights of that, talk
Tyreek
about
Hill
somebody.
and Jalen Waddle. And then
and Tua. Yeah, don't discount the guy throwing it to him. But
yeah, I mean they were wide ass open. But yeah, no, I hear you.
I mean, we talked about the Dolphins' offense. Holy cow! I mean, they got some firepower.
They
on that
got
thing.
speed, man.
Yeah,
they got speed down there.
And then obviously the Raiders lost a 20-point lead to the Cardinals in an overtime loss.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Did not see that one coming. Out of all those games, obviously the score between the Ravens and Miami was it looked like a sealed game, but
right.
The Raiders to lose a 20-point lead to a team that we just played. I mean, shout out to the Cardinals showing some heart, you know, coming through, finding a way at the end of games that they had a 2-point conversion after a timeout that they ended up getting a delay of game. So they had a 2-point conversion from the 7-yard line.
Right.
And AJ Green in the back of the end zone. It was full of excitement. If you're just a fan watching, obviously, if you're the Raiders, you're just getting hit with daggers in the side. The Raiders come out in overtime, get a big stop, are marching the ball downfield, and then a guy's trying to give every ounce of effort that he can by getting north in Hunter Renfrow and Isaiah Simmons. Huge playmaker. I think he's a first-round draft pick last year. Kansas City guy comes in and lays the wood, and sure enough, the ball pops right out. Yeah. And the game sealed by a fumble recovery to the house, and it's in Las Vegas. There's an angle on the field. There's an angle on the field where you can see the Raiders fans in the background, while number 7, I forget his name, is running it back, and it is just heartbreak.
It's just
it's just motherfuck. How do we get here?
Right. Yeah. What do you think leads to? Is this? I'd be curious are there more like big blown leads and comebacks early in the season? Do you think? I wonder if that's a trend.
That's a great question. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. I think handling adversity is something that you have to grow every single year. You know, you might have leaders that know how to handle a situation like that, and you kind of follow suit. But at the same time, you're going to have to, see how everybody reacts in those situations and regroup, man.
And these are also situations that a lot of times you haven't done yet, right? Like most of these teams haven't run a 4-minute operation the entire offseason. So all of a sudden now you're getting into a situation where you're seeing terrible run looks and you have to try and manufacture ways to end the game out. 2-minute drills, you rep 2-minute drills all the time, all offseason, but it's not live. It's not when it's
against
crucial,
your defense.
Right? Yeah. And then the defense is against your offense. You're not seeing it, and all of a sudden you're out there, you're running incredibly simple coverages, trying to face guys like Jalen Waddle and freaking Tyreek, and then all of a sudden it's before you know it, they put up 21 points in a matter of minutes. So I got to think that this. I think that probably. I'd be curious what the trend was if this is something that teams deal with a lot. I think you're right. I think adversity is something you have to learn how to fight through, and the best teams find ways to get things done in times when it's not easy and when they need to get done.
Yeah.
Those end up being the teams that end up playing late into January and February. The teams that are able to weather storms, the teams that are able to stop momentum, the teams that are able to, finish close games when it matters. Those are the teams that end up being the best teams usually.
100% with you, brother.
Do you think momentum is real?
1,000%. Momentum, I'm a firm believer that momentum is, I don't want to say everything, but that energy, that feeling, that energy of success, of, oh, we got this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you don't have momentum, now doubt might creep in, start questioning some things. You start looking at how other guys are reacting to things. If it's not high energy, either you're a fountain or you're a drain, baby. Either you're giving somebody life or you're taking it out of them. And I need that momentum, man. I need that high energy. I need that big time play that gets everybody going, gets the juices going. I pride myself on trying to make that play for us to get that momentum because I think it's such a big deal.
Yeah, there was an article written, I think, last December by David Hale that basically said momentum's not real. And I could not. I just could not.
What does David do other than write?
I don't know. I don't know David Hale, to be honest with you. Maybe I should, but I think that anybody that's played the game knows that momentum is for sure something that you feel out there, especially when you're at home, especially when the crowd's with you. Energy is real, right? And when things are going a certain way, it tends to snowball. It tends to continue to happen. Energy, people feed off of each other. Teammates feed off of each other. Momentum is without a doubt, in my opinion, it's almost palatable when it's really clicking. You can just feel things happen. All right. I meant palpable. I said palatable, like it's tasteable. I got to work on my vocabulary for this week. I didn't sleep much. I just played a Monday night game, so my vocab is off today. But in particular about momentum, I think there's crucial times in a game where that you can build momentum, or it can snowball out of hand, and that's at the beginning and ends of halves. I think getting a good start to a half and finishing a half end up being crucial moments of the game, and they end up setting the tone for how it goes. If you score right before half, that is such a big feeling for the offense. Huge. And for the team. If you get off to a good start to open up the game, we already talked on that earlier. That's a big momentum tone setter right away. Automatically puts the pressure on the other team. But that being said, what I will agree with David Hale is that the best teams find a way to weather those storms, right? We just talked about that. The ability to stay focused, locked in, where you talked about earlier, where you can't let all of this outside energy and feeling of pressure dictate how you're about to go out on the field. The best teams find a way to just stay right here, go out there, focus, do your job, get out there. And then if you stay right there, when the play's there to be made, you'll make the play.
Mm-hmm. And you'll get that energy out of making that play and get that momentum out of making that play. I'm with you, brother. So the Bears go to shotgun on the goal line versus the Packers late in the game. Down 14 with 8:12 left. Ball inside the 1 yard line. 4th and goal. You want to talk about big time plays. Goal line offenses, man.
Yeah.
It's there's always that kind of just question. Do you go big? Do you kind of spread it out even more, knowing that all you need is a short completion? I think it can get a little complicated down there. I think some teams try and get a little too creative or a little too cute to say.
Don't even get me started. Do not even get me started. Start
it up. Let's hear it, bud.
All right. If you have game on the line, 4th and 1 on the goal line. What play are you running? There's only one right answer.
Rollout. I'm going rollout.
Yeah, roll pass.
Athletic,
That's not a
athletic
bad
quarterback. Athletic quarterback. Give a guy who's a playmaker the ball in his hands, not in the pocket, and have a concept attached to it where you got guys flying everywhere. I'm a big believer. I'm not mad at them going shotgun. I think giving an athletic quarterback like Fields vision on the defense the entire time, sometimes being a drop back quarterback, getting under center, there's times where you just turn your back to the defense. And I think that's a critical play where I would like my quarterback or my playmaker who makes shit shake even when, it's not the right call or they got us. The defense just ran the right blitz or something. Keeping his eyes on the defense in the backfield, I think, is a safe move. I actually don't know what play they ran. But
I don't care what they ran. They didn't run the right play. There's only one correct answer, and that's because it is the highest percentage chance of getting 1 yard, and that's quarterback sneak.
Quarterback sneaking it?
It blows my mind how many teams do not run a fucking quarterback sneak with 1 goddamn yard. What the fuck are you doing?
What if we go double A?
It's a 92% chance. There's not a play in the playbook that has a higher percentage chance of working than quarterback sneak. And all of you guys that throw and catch the ball, nobody ever fucking thinks about it. It's the most obvious answer. They can only stop it if they go all out to stop it. If they all submarine, they have 6 fat guys inside trying to stop it, and then you have other shit wide open. It is mind-blowing to me how many people forget about quarterback sneak.
So
this is NFL
so what
play
if they go what if they go submarine defense? They pack the A gaps. They put a guy right over you. What do we do?
Even then,
do we have an alert on it, or do we giving the quarterback the keys to be able to get out of this shit?
First of all, I don't want to give up strategy, but okay. But even if they go all out, the chances of them stopping it for a yard are so small. Even if they all submarine, the play is an astronomically higher percent chance than anything else you're going to call. It's 90-some percent.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
I hear
you want to talk about analytics? This is the most fucked up analytic in the world that teams miss routinely. I swear to God.
I'm with you.
We
had to get away from it. We had to get away from running.
Well, that's the
because
one
our
thing
quarterback's kneecap was in the side of his leg. Okay, yeah, I was looking, staring directly at Pat laying on the ground, just pointing at his knee, and his kneecap in the side. I was looking at it like, what the?
So that
He's dead.
So for those of you listening,
somebody come get Pat. I couldn't even look at it. It was gruesome, dude. I thought it was over for him.
So that is one good reason not to run quarterback sneak is if you have a quarterback who has weird hips that move in an odd way, and for some reason he hurts his knee running quarterback sneak. It's the only time I've ever seen a quarterback get hurt running QB sneak.
I've never seen that injury ever in my life. Okay, that was a one-time deal, man.
Pat got hurt doing a QB sneak, so I guess I understand why you don't want to run it with Pat. But
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to give up. I mean, I certainly feel very strong about quarterback sneak.
Shout out to Pat for getting the first down though on that, by the way.
Hey, 90-some percent chance working.
Got it.
What are we thinking about here?
Might lose your quarterback.
This is one of the things I think it's such an underutilized play when it's a yard or less in the NFL. All right, Bucs Saints brawl in New Orleans. Brady and Lattimore jawing at each other. Mike Evans jumps into it to protect Tom, and all of a sudden, he getting tossed.
He says protecting Tom. These two, Lattimore and Evans, have had beef before. I just think it was an excuse to be able to tee off on him. Like he was waiting for that one moment to be able to. And I'm a fan of all three of these guys. Lattimore, Cleveland guy. Obviously, Tom Brady's absolutely amazing. And then Mike Evans is a stud. Been the most consistent receiver since he's been in the league. And I think personally they had beef. And he was just like, that moment, it was just a flip of the switch. He just instinctually, he just went into like hunt mode, and he had to. top of that, you always want to be there for your guys, but at the same time, I didn't see Lattimore, pushing them, or I didn't see Lattimore, doing anything physical to Tom. So it's like, at what point are you just like, oh yeah, I had to defend him to,
well, whether it's real or not,
absolutely lay him out.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not the reason, Mike, if it's not the real reason Mike did it, it's a great get out of jail free card. If you want to if you get a personal foul for fighting, and the coach is like, "What in the hell were you doing?" Like, I'm defending Tom Brady.
Good.
Oh, hey, take that every day of the week, right? Defending the quarterback
1000%.
is a get out of jail free card. Why the hell did you just punch that guy? He hit Jalen. All right, good job. It's a get out of jail free card. Always got to protect the quarterback.
I respect it. I'm not saying I don't respect the move. I just think that it was more exactly what you just said. You get out of jail free card, man. Oh. Veteran rest day. Tom Brady comes out, and reportedly every Wednesday, vet day for all the old geezers on the team. I would have definitely been put in that boat. Are you a vet day guy?
Well, I have to be because I get veteran rest days on Wednesdays. So I am
pansy.
I have no choice but to be in full support of this.
Just when I thought we worked harder than everybody.
This was
You're taking days off.
We still go out there. We're still out at practice, but yeah, we get some veteran rest days from me. I'm trying to think of who else gets it. Lane Johnson.
See, I'm cool with Brady getting it because he's 40 plus. He's got 6 rings, 7, however many he's got. Proven.
I'm 34. I'm about to be 35 in November.
Damn,
Travis, I play center. I play every snap. I don't get a playoff. I'm out there. I will say this. I used to be firmly against this, and I didn't think, especially at a position of communication, right? Like part of my job is not just doing my job. Part of my job is making sure that everybody else is on the same page and everything is being communicated in a way.
Accountability, yeah.
Yeah, not just that, but everything's being communicated and everybody else knows what they're supposed to do off of that communication.
Yeah.
So the quarterback and center are 2 positions that control a lot of that communication. So it's hard. It was hard for me to fathom not being out there and handling that. That being said, I think, we went to some of these. I finally got talked into it by some of the strength coaches coming to Philadelphia and saying, listen, Jason, this is going to really help you. We've done this with the Rams. We know that this is going to make a meaningful impact on your legs. Will you please just try it out? And I started doing it, and I'm not going to lie, I felt much better on game days, so we've kept doing it.
You definitely felt the difference.
1,000%. You don't feel a difference when you guys go to walk through Wednesdays later in the year?
I feel better on Wednesday.
Maybe you still got young legs, but I'm telling you, I think without question, it has made an impact on my legs. And it was something that I was vehemently against, even just 3 years ago. And I have been swayed as a veteran player that it's probably in my best interest to take some of these rest days. As much as it pains me to not be out on the field and not to be out there with my teammates, I've been talked into it being the best thing for the team and for me. So
this guy's easily persuaded. I cannot fathom not being in practice. I have to get the reps. I have to be.
Well, to be clear,
I have to.
We don't have the whole day off.
No. Yeah, I get it. We're just talking about practice and actually running. Doing all the physical things in practice that you would do that would get you tired, that would put miles on your legs, that would things like that. I completely get that. I need those reps. I need that full speed tempo. I think when we go to kind of that walk through tempo later on in the year to help us save our legs, I feel like that's as rest day as I'll ever get. You know what I mean? Like I think that I'll at least be out there on the field certain reps. I might not get all the reps that I would in a game. There's other guys, that need those reps too in case something does happen. So it's a good way to get the young guys more acclimated. But at the same time, I know when I'm practicing and that play looks good, Coach Reed likes that play, and I'm trying to get them things. To get called. I'm trying to get them things dialed up on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a hot topic. I mean, this whole concept of rest, whether it's through training camp, the season, the NBA, all of a sudden having rest days. I mean, the idea of trying to keep guys fresh in professional sports is changed so drastically over the past even just 2-3 years. I don't know what the right answer is, to be honest with you. I think there's benefits, obviously, to practicing, and there's benefits to resting. And it's a hard one to really know what the right answer is. I know that my legs feel better on game day. I haven't gone to this, but 2 or 3 years ago, I was in the exact same position as you. So I'll be waiting for 2 years from now when you tell me, hey, thank God I'm getting rest days.
We'll see.
All right. Time for our new heights Kelce stamp of the week. I think we finally are kind of narrowing in on what we want this to be. Last week, we kind of made it more like a player of the week type thing. And
there's enough of those
cool.
awards. There's enough.
Yeah, that's all over the place. I think what really gets us fired up as players in the league is when you watch somebody else who hasn't really gotten that credit yet or hasn't gotten that shine yet, go ahead and make that play that separates themselves. I think the NFL is amazing, man. You're dealing with guys who are quite literally getting the opportunity to realize the dreams that they've had since they've been kids. Mm-hmm. Every single day, guys are going out there, and they're playing a game that, this is what they wanted to do their whole lives, and they're finally on the biggest stage in the world. And there is nothing greater in the NFL than watching a guy go out there and make a huge play, and all of a sudden, millions of people know that guy's name. So for this week, my new heights stamp of the week goes to the Watsons. I'm going to give it to both of them. I'm going to give it to both of them. Justin Watson and Jalen Watson in Kansas City, both of those guys making huge plays at the end of the game.
2 of the biggest plays of the game, man.
Well, those were the biggest plays. The pick six and that big touchdown coming out for the second half. Those ended up being the crucial moments that ultimately led to you guys being 2-0. And man, I love it when guys make plays like that.
Absolutely love it, man.
Yeah. Great job, Watsons.
The Watsons, Jalen and Justin, man, my guys. I'm going with the Miami quarterback Tua, coming through all the scrutiny over the offseason, all the speculation with the Tyreek podcast, and, is he able to get the ball downfield to these speedsters? Is he able to lead his team to victory? Knowing last year there were times where they took him out in the most critical moments and put like a veteran quarterback in there, right? In Fitzpatrick. So it's like for him to be down 21 and to have that comeback in the fashion that he did it, going up top to the 2 big guys, I was happy for him. I was happy as hell for him, especially against a great Ravens defense like that.
Yeah, it's tremendous. I mean, to put 6 touchdowns up in one half, I don't know if that was an NFL record, Miami record, what it was, but it was insane, the second half that he had. And, if you can close games out like that as a quarterback and have the poise to do that under critical situations, that answers a lot of the questions around Tua. Great job. Chiefs at the Colts next week, 1 p.m. game. Colts have been struggling a little bit to start the season off.
Don't get caught up in the BS. Don't get caught up in the BS, man. That is a very well coached team. They have a star-studded lineup on the defensive side of the ball. Yep. Offense is very run heavy, but they got, I think, Michael Pittman Jr. I think that's his name. Stud. And a veteran quarterback that's won a lot of games. So I expect to play a very motivated team and just to go in there with a mentality of getting the job done. We're going to be in a bar fight for sure. And it's in their house. Indianapolis is a crazy environment in that dome. The nap gets rocking for him, and sure enough, can't let this game make you feel at ease.
Yeah, you are going to get the best Colts team you can get.
100%, and that's on film, and the players that they have, that's a very good team.
Looking for their first win. This is a huge game for the Colts. You're getting a fired-up coaching staff. Frank Reich, all those guys are going to be doing everything they can possibly to get this first win.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hungry team. This is going to be an awesome game to keep our eye on.
They have a lot of guys that are going to get the job done. Professionals in the building, veteran quarterback. Being winless is obviously how good they are on paper. Is probably stinging them right now, real bad.
Right.
So it's like you're going to get that team to come out with their backs against the wall and giving you their best shot. Not saying that they would otherwise, but it's definitely motivation for them at this point.
No doubt.
So we know we can't come in slacking, man. And it starts during the week. Maybe just take care of day by day, and then what you can control during the week, getting the body rest, and know that you're going to be in for a 4-quarter fight, man. Eagles and Commanders, 1 p.m. Eastern. First divisional game, playing former quarterback Carson Wentz. Obviously, he's a friend of yours.
I've heard of him.
A guy that you've played your tail off with. That legendary run, Super Bowl run, he was the culprit for the majority part of that season, man, making play after play. Have you faced him already? Have you played him yet since he's left?
I have not. No, I haven't played Carson outside of being his teammate. So this will be the first. Kind of wish it was in the link for the first go around, but it's going to be in Washington. And I've already texted him today. I think I'm looking forward to seeing him again. He was a great friend and great teammate while he was in Philadelphia. And this is like it's a bit of a quandary. Because on one end, I want Carson to play well and I want him to do well, but I certainly don't want him to play good on Sunday, and I want him to lose. So, I think, I'm always rooting for that guy. I think, unfortunately, things didn't end well in Philadelphia for him. Got hurt after having an MVP-like season. We ended up going on winning the Super Bowl. And then after that, it felt like, he's always just trying to come back from injuries. First the knee, then it was a back.
It's been an uphill battle ever since that Super Bowl run, man.
Yeah. And, I think as the team started to get a little bit worse and started to lose some players, it just kind of faded downhill. And, I thought he played well in Indy last year. Outside of that last game, it didn't end well.
Dude, he absolutely killed it, just handed it off every other play. It was awesome, man. Got the leading rusher in the league. Of course that quarterback's going to be playing great, man. So I asked this then. The Eagles were kind of showing Rieger last night and how much they appreciated him and his time in Philly. Obviously, there were some things said when he left Philly, but do you think that Carson Wentz gets that fair, salute when he comes back to Philly or he plays against the Eagles? Are the Eagles fan base respecting it, or is it just like how it ended was just,
It was a bad ending. Whenever, you're clearly wanting out of a city, I feel like you're in a rough spot as a player. There are still a lot of fans in Philly that I know appreciate Carson and especially who he was as a person and to the community. He's a great person.
I saw a bunch of Wentz jerseys in the link on Monday night. I'll tell you what.
There are still people in Pennsylvania, for sure. They will always be Carson Wentz fans. And that being said, if I was a betting man, I think when he comes back to the link in the future, it will probably not be to a roaring amount of applause, although I hope it is.
How would you best describe playing with Carson, man? Because from a kind of a fan's point of view, at least from what I saw, it's kind of sporadic. It was almost like it was controlled chaos. Like he's a baller. Don't get me wrong. Like when that ball snapped, he has the ability to make some shit shake. But it was never, to me, like he had full control over what was going on out there.
I think Carson is a incredibly smart player. He was a guy that was a pleasure to game plan with and play with. Whenever you're dealing with a guy that is as competitive as he is and doesn't want to accept a negative play, you're going to get times where it ends up being magical, where something happens that you didn't expect.
Like Jason Kelce pulling you out of a burning fire.
A pile, yeah. Or you're going to get times where you kind of run into a sack or you extend a play and you don't throw the ball away. I think Carson is such a competitive person that it's hard for him to just throw the ball away or dirt a ball and move on to the next snap. And those have gotten him into trouble in the past, but they've also been some of his biggest highlights of his career.
Yeah.
So it's tough to be critical of that. And that's something whenever you're dealing with a guy that is as spontaneous as he is, it's hard to know whether you want to dial that back or whether you want to let him keep doing that. And really the answer is if it's working, keep doing it. And if it's not, we got to kind of dial it back. That's what it comes down to.
I always love playing those kind of quarterbacks are the type that I love playing with, by the way. So
yeah, I mean, Pat is about as spontaneous and creative as you can get as a quarterback.
1,000%.
And even Pat at times, like as unbelievable as he is, sometimes when he does that, it leads to some of the his downfalls of games, right? Like nobody's perfect 100% of the time. Pat is, in my opinion, he's probably the best quarterback in the
92% chance that Pat's going to make the
play. He's clearly, in the premier level of quarterback play in the NFL. But whenever you're dealing with somebody that is trying to extend a play, trying to make something happen, you're also going to get negatives of those at times. That's just the inevitability of that situation.
Yeah. And you were right the first time. He's the best quarterback in the league.
Well, not so far. Jalen Hurts has something to say about that, but
yeah. Well, he had a good game. Guy had a good game.
2 good games. 2 good games.
Yeah, well, 2-0, 2-0, we shall see what happens in week 3, baby.
All righty. Well, that about wraps up the 3rd episode of New Heights.
Yeah.
New episodes happen every Wednesday during the season. You can watch and subscribe on YouTube to the New Heights channel and listen and subscribe to wherever you get your podcasts. Hope you enjoyed it. We sure did. Catch you next week. Thank you for listening to New Heights. Make sure to rate and subscribe. Also, if you want to watch the show, go and check out New Heights on YouTube and follow the show on all social media platforms at New Heights Show.